Oh, sorry. Hang on. Oh, yeah.
You can see we picked the logo, working on the logos too.
Yeah, I hear you. You're on. You're going. You're good. Is your volume on or not on? Good. Volume's not on there. That's not on. Everything is all good. I'm good. Welcome to the Happy Oyster Show. I am your host, Mark Burke, and this is my beautiful bride, Tony Joe, is
Morning,
in the
everybody.
house.
Happy
We got
Saturday.
Tony here today. Now
I'm
this
behind the
thing
keyboard.
kind of sucks right here. What am I gonna do about that? Let me see if oh, that's the wrong way. If I went this way a little bit. Artie Mike's in the house. What's happening? I'm working on that. The new phone works pretty damn good, I think. I like the new phone, especially, I don't know, we did a signal test last week, and I don't know if you guys saw it. We did a little signal test down at the actual site, just on shore of where we're going to be growing our oysters. Update on that. We have contact with the DEC. The DEC has contacted us, and that we are told that we will be ready for 2019 season. What does that mean? Does that mean January of 2019 we are good to go? Sure did sound that way to me. Am I going to assume that? You know what? It's the holiday. It's the government. I've been waiting a long time. They acknowledge that they have it at least, all right? The last time around, it was 6 months plus before they even acknowledged that they had the damn thing. That guys are done. We're moving forward. I think it's all positive. We have contact with the DEC, and thank you very much, Mr. and Mrs. DEC. And we'll be talking with you the first week in 2019. Boom. With that being said, it is now time to start to gear up because it really looks like it's going to happen for sure. Now, granted, we're going to be coming up on almost a year, Tony Joe. A year since we started the permitting process. March will be a year.
Wow.
It's no wonder that there isn't a lot more oyster farmers out there because the bureaucracy is just whatever. We're moving forward. I'm excited. The boat's coming along. We'll go over and take a quickie look. I painted her all up, nice baby blue. She's looking beautiful. We'll give a little quickie view on that. Today's show is going to be 21. You have to be 21 and over to watch it. If you're under 21, please go ask your parents. Maybe you and your parents should be watching it together. We're going to be talking about one of the things that we're going to be talking about today is the historic events that took place on the East Coast of the United States in Massachusetts. Whatever. I wanted to be there, and I was there, and we'll be talking about that. I coordinated it in with getting some wire because we need wire to make changes.
Zip asked me if we went and got wire.
We did get wire. We got wire. It's outside that door. I'm going to roll one in right now. Maybe we should open up the door. You all right? You're nice and toasty there, Tony Joe? You going to come out and
never better.
Hand the camera up to me so that way I can go outside to the boat there real quick? I don't think they saw it since it's blue.
All right, yeah, what do you want me?
Yeah. Okay, so let's open up the door here. Go out that way, I guess. Now, I think this thing's going to be pretty good. Yeah, that's not too bad. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so, we got some other gear stuff that we got going on. Here's our wire. I got 3 rolls. They fit in the back of
Give a shout out to Bob and Riverdale Mills.
Bob at Riverdale Mills. He is the man.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
Tony Joe is getting to get in there a little bit there.
Yep.
There we go. Oh, the dog
Why
is
you
out
on?
there.
Oh, you're on me. Let's get it on the other side, right?
What? Well, whatever. We're going to walk outside there in a half a second. So, it is beautiful. Oh, the boat. Did you see it yet? Yeah. Let me be the first. Okay. So, it's baby blue from the rubber rails up right now. We're going to put the rest. Freddie calls that gray. The whiteness gray. Now, again, my internet connection gets really crappy way in the back. there, Tone. So this is what you got to do over here. You got to give me a little. I'm gonna go run around there for a half a second,
All right.
and I'm gonna grab the whole thing. All right,
Yeah.
you with me?
Yeah. I'm out here, so I'm not behind the keyboard. I'll go behind the keyboard.
Where are you? Did you flick it around? Oh, there we go. All right, so yeah, we painted her all up blue, all 100%. She's looking a whole lot better. It's just amazing what a little coat of paint can do. I put some electrical contact glop on that and ready to go. The winch is good. Everything's good to go. We got a couple of little things to button up. I'd love to give it maybe another coat, but I don't know. It's not necessarily absolutely positively. This side over here, she's looking all good. Tumbler's looking all good. Got a lot of leaves. Leaves, and more leaves. This piece of plywood, this has got to get painted again and go on. That's a piece underneath here. And so, we got the latches on the doors. We're good for that. I got to put a little maybe stripping or something on that. They turned out pretty good. Sorry for the shaky. Boom, boom, boom. And that to that to that. Looking good, right? I thought so. All right, Tony Joe, you can come back and get this damn thing from me. You like the color blue? Thanks, man. I thought so too. Tony, I need your help again. It goes out of sync if I go in the back. It goes out of whatever it is. I'm gonna fold that down for a second. No, right here where you were before. Where you were before. Right there, yeah. Oh, easy. You got the whole damn thing? You're gonna drop it. Good deal. All right. So, turn that around. So we got the wire. Leave those right there. I gotta fix those. Do you ever be 21 to shop at Forever 21? I don't know. So we got 3 rolls of wire. They're 100-foot rolls, I think. I did. All right. All right, you can get inside now and close the damn door.
I can get inside.
Can't reach what?
No, right here.
Oh, wait a minute. I want to put one of those wires in. I'm going to bring one of those wires in. All right. Time out for a half a second. So, Riverdale Wire, Bob Hayes, our salesman over there, great guy, just helped us out tremendous, just a sweetheart. We were kind of waylaid. I was waylaid. I'm not going to put all of them in. I'm just going to bring it one at a time. It's going to have to get unsprung, and then we have to cut it. And we cut it into panels. These are some tops that I got over here. All right, that way we close it down, get a little heat back in here. It is, temperature today is, it's only 44 outside right now. Not too bad. I don't think that thing is right though. But whatever, it was cold. We had been having some really cold and nasty weather. Riverdale Wine. Now, next, moving on. I can't, you know what, I have a hard time when I'm behind it like this and I can't see. So I'm gonna turn this around again. Tony Joe is typing madly.
Well, I was telling about Bob Hayes and Riverdale Mills, and that did a large supply of wire to the USA agriculture industry.
With their product called Aqua Mesh. There we go. Now that's better for me, I guess.
Are you wired up or loud enough without it?
Yeah, I'm wired up. I'm pretty good, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's not too bad.
Is that a Chevy out there, right?
What's that?
What year Chevy?
The Chevy is a 54. That's actually been talked about in the works. That's been kind of like been tossing around a little bit. Antonio a little bit and myself, and we've been kind of playing with back and forth stuff. All right, so back at you. Where the hell am I? I am at, these buckets right here. Anybody got any ideas on these buckets? They're pretty nice buckets. These are Deli Cat buckets. We happen to be collecting them. It seems like they are a nice bucket. You buy the cat food from the Price Club, and it comes in this. We have a couple of cats in our house.
Couple times two.
Couple times two, times four.
Couple times one, times two.
Yeah, so we got 4 cats in the house. One of them being Rhoda. If you remember Rhoda from the shop, from the Bike Man For You days, she moved over. She's got her own little door, and she's doing good. She's having a great old time. Anyway, more cat food. It does have a lid. It stops on it. Any great ideas, guys? Come at me. Come on. Let's think about this. Let's brainstorm. Reduce, reuse, recycle, repurpose is what I'm all about. Would this classify as a turd bucket for the DEC? It does have a top that snaps closed. That is classified as a bucket for human waste. It has to be put human waste on it, okay? Just throwing it out there. It is honest. You do, Tony. On the boat, you have to have some kind of a container. I'm dead. It's in the. I'm not joking about this. All right.
Hey, when nature calls, no matter where you are, you gotta make sure it's taken care of properly.
That's right. That's right. When nature calls.
On the oysters.
Absolutely. I totally agree. So it's got to go in a bucket. Does this classify? A 5-gallon bucket with a lid on it classifies. I don't see why I wouldn't one of these. It's a little on the small side.
For what?
For my ass.
How big's your rear end?
Well, I don't know.
Speaking of young and handsome, look
Speaking of young and handsome was coming strolling in. Happy Thanksgiving. He's walking. I texted him. I told him that I was like afraid.
You drove all the way up there for 3 rolls of wire.
Just 3 little lousy rolls of wire.
Oh,
What year's Antonio's car?
What's that?
What year's Antonio's car?
I don't know, 90 something, 25 years old,
93?
something like that. Whatever. So we're talking about does this classify as a turd bucket?
Sure.
Ooh, these are we're collecting these.
Anything you can crap in.
Right, but it has a lid on it. According to the DEC, it snaps.
Soundtrack saying put a toilet seat on it.
What's that?
Sound saying put a toilet seat
Yeah, but it's not quite big enough though. Is it big enough for your ass, Fred, or what? I mean, I'm thinking we could we're more trying to
Well, it doesn't matter because all you do is you put a little water in it and you take a load in there and then you just go like this and you just dump it. And then you just close the lid and use it the next time. That's how they work. You think somebody carries a load of duty around?
If I have to take a duty, I'm bringing my duty home because I am a good bayman.
Not me.
Well, as NASCAR 427 says, attach a seat to it or get a bumper dumper.
Yeah, well, you know what? They have a guy that comes around for free, and he pumps out if you have a head and a tank and all of that business on your boat. They actually come around, and because they don't want these pleasure boats discharging their whole party's worth of doo-doo. And they have a pump, free. The boat comes right in, sucks it right in, for nothing. So Fred, how was your Thanksgiving, Fred? Good to see you.
It was good.
So I was just talking about today's show. Today's show is 21 and over. We were discussing what Tony and I happened to go up not only for Riverdale Wire, but on 4/20 happened to be the day, on 11/20 was the day that recreational marijuana was for sale in Massachusetts. You had, what's her name's, Oppenheimer's thing, so you weren't able to go. Tony and I jumped in the truck and said, hey, we got to go get wire and we're going to go. So now we're coming to the part of being 21, the 21 part of the show. At this point, anybody that's over 21 can stay. Anybody that's under 21.
What was the price?
What was the price? The price wasn't bad. We could get into all these discussions and whatnot, but we can discuss. I'll give you the whole story. I just want to make sure that the 21
They're
under
not
21.
gonna turn it off. What are you, stupid?
Don't watch.
Now they're on.
Now don't watch, okay? Stop.
Yeah.
Don't watch.
Stop. All right.
No way.
Well, there might be some really little, you know. I don't know. All right. What a good time I had.
No.
I had a great ride up. I had to get on the ferry. Had a great time with my wife. We were able to discuss certain things, even though we live together. We don't necessarily get quality time together that we can discuss all kinds of stuff, whether it be business and family and her job and my job and all different, just different things. Your partner in crime, there she is, my beautiful wife. I love her to death. She came with me. She does not indulge, but she is supportive. Let me kiss it. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you for coming.
I can say it now that it's out
What's that?
that with your cancer treatment, which is you're out of the closet about your cancer, the battle you have with cancer. That if you had not had, if you weren't able to get the medicinal marijuana, whatever, the marijuana, the cannabis that you got during your treatment, you may not be here today. And I know that as your wife and your partner going through that with you, and that's when I really changed my whole thing about cannabis is living with it and seeing what it actually
Seeing
does.
how it helped. All right.
Not my thing, but
Medicinal.
anyway,
Right, it's not her thing, but it's my thing. Anyway, where was I? So anyway, having quality time with my wife to drive up there and, of course, wait online. Now, the weather. Oh, my gosh. The weather was nasty and cold and dreary, and if it was better weather, it would have been a hell of a lot more of a party. But Tony and I waited outside in the weather. Now, I was dressed for it. I'm ready for these kinds of things. We had gear. We had gear for this stuff, It's all about the gear. Tony was nice and warm. I was pretty warm. But 2.5 hours we waited outside just to get in. And then they were limiting you to how much you were allowed to buy because they were afraid that they were going to run out and this, that, and the other thing. Let me say it right here. It was the most professionally run. It was the whole experience was extremely professional. New England Treatment, what is it again?
New England Treatment Access.
New England Treatment Access is where we went in Northampton. It was one of the two. We did not go to both.
5 joints for $70.
Here's the top part. Here's quarter ounce, half, 175.
Well, I'll stick with where I get it.
Now, of course, I was ready for that.
It's way cheaper.
It might be cheaper, but the quality.
Nah, bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
Fred, knock yourself.
It ain't better than what you can get.
Now, this could be a debate. And you know what? Next week might be a totally different story. He might be singing like a canary next week.
It ain't better than what you can get, especially if you know who's growing it.
Whatever. I'm not getting into a pissing argument with the Fred. There's just no way in God's creation I can tell you one thing or another or whatever, however you would like to play it.
Due to the bad weather, the holiday parade in Patchogue is canceled until next Saturday.
What? They got a holiday parade in Patchogue?
Yeah, it's huge. Santa Claus.
Oh, the rain. It's supposed to be raining later, right?
It's gonna rain tonight.
Oh.
Santa Claus parade. It's just huge.
I bet.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right. So it was a historic day, to say the least. It's just a matter of absolute confirmation. It's prohibition, 1929 or whatever it was, just before booze. It is crazy. It's taking over. It was controlled. It is professional.
Was it lined up? Were they lined up?
2.5 hours to get in.
Was the cops there?
Cops were there. They're waving. They're being safe of the safety of the people is what they're there for. The mayor of the town made the first purchase. Okay. They have everything from edibles to concentrates to flour to whatever, knowledgeable staff. Fred's saying it's more, it's about double. By the time you get all done with taxes and this and that, it's about double the price. Push comes to shove.
What were the license plates on the cars?
There was all kinds of different license plates all over.
And then you're a criminal as soon as you leave the state.
But this is where it's, Fred, they can't. They're not going to be able to clog the courts with the amount of people. And there were tons of people. It is going to be federally legal in your lifetime, Fred. Right. It's going to be federally legal relatively quickly, I think. Within the next year and a half,
all right,
2 years.
The first thing that they're going to do is they're going to put the Coast Guard on the ferry with dogs.
Now this is Fred thinking. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
I guarantee they are. Because the Coast Guard is zero tolerance no matter what. And the ferry is zero tolerance. So the obvious place for them to hassle anyone, if they want to, is going to be on the ferry. They're going to put dogs on the ferry, they're going to walk up and down the aisle, sniff your car, and they're going to bust you on the ferry, I guarantee it. That'll be the first thing that happens. Mark my words.
But the ferry's in Connecticut.
Doesn't matter. Once you're on open water, it's Coast Guard jurisdiction.
Right, but if the ferry's in Connecticut, we met people from...
This could be an argument. That could be an argument. That could be something to be said.
You're a criminal when you take it out of the state, correct?
Yeah, when you're out of the state,
you're
correct.
A criminal. Then it's a criminal offense.
Yeah.
Okay? Coast Guard is zero tolerance, period. Anywhere. Doesn't matter where it is.
Good point.
Time will tell.
So then they'll be driving it around. So then the guy's going to drive it around.
The
guy that's on the ferry, it's expensive. The ferry is expensive, too.
Right.
A guy that's going to, do you think they're going to take the time out to bust a guy that's got an ounce?
No. What they're going to do is they're going to make an example of a few people on the ferry, and they're going to put the fear into the people, and then that's going to be the end of it.
I don't think that's the American way. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I do not believe that is going, I think there's going to be an outrage. Because it's right around the corner, legalization in this state, in that state, in this state. It's a domino effect right now.
It can be all the outrage you want, but it's still the law. Until they change the law, it's
I think this is America speaking at its best. 72%, now I've done my homework, so 72% of millennials say yes to legalization. 62% has to... I just went and partaked. I had fun there. I didn't transport anything, nothing.
Yeah, but
no way.
Once you partaked and got on the ferry, the dog has got you.
Well, now, wait a minute. Now, not necessarily, because, I did happen to, I am legal.
Yeah, but the reek is on you.
But I got legal. I have a card in my pocket that says I'm allowed to have that.
Oh, well, you are, yeah.
I am.
You are, right.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm a cancer survivor. I'm a cancer survivor. Right. If anybody is allowed, I'm allowed. Definitely allowed.
Right. You're one of the privileged ones. If I go up there and I smoke pot up there, and I get on the ferry and I reek like pot, and then the dog walks by.
Do you think that the courts are going to have enough? You're looking at it's decriminalized in so many states. Again, this is the legalization of the whole debate. Here it is.
I don't care anything about pot. I want to carry my friggin' gun in New York State.
Oh, well.
I don't care about pot. Let's legalize that.
Let's legalize carrying your gun.
Bottom line is where this is all new, and I'm not. Again, the only reason I see the way I look at it is it's because of how I know for a fact with him with his cancer.
No, I'm 100%.
If I just put here, I'd rather. Right. This country has an opioid epidemic because of pain. And not just cancer. Right. And if this can help people, and they're responsible.
All the crooked lowlifes that are making money off of it, I want to see them go out of business. I want them to legalize it everywhere.
It's coming.
Legalize it
That's
everywhere.
just my point, Fred. It's coming.
You know how many crooked DEA agents and
Oh, now.
guys
And how many good guys are there? There's some good guys.
Every field has it. Anything with money, you got.
anytime you're dealing with money. But I'll tell you right now, the drugs are coming in here because of not only the bad guys.
So there is the deal.
What about crack? Are we gonna legalize crack?
No, I don't know.
Then all the Cracker Jacks will disappear. Yeah. Let's do it all.
Let's go for a Wild West. You see, now here goes Fred going the other route.
Yeah. Oh no, I've always said legalize heroin because then all the junkies will be dead.
But you know, some of the poor people are resorting to heroin because it's so easy because they
can't afford weed. You can't. The weed is $175 a half ounce.
If you're smoking more than that, I'm telling you, then we got some other situations. Oh, there's where that one went. All right, so back at you with gear. It's gear day. So there's our under 21. The children now can come back in the room. We're done discussing it. Blah, 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 blah.
If you didn't have these yesterday, you were crying.
Okay. Where was I yesterday? I was out in the bay yesterday. All day, as a matter of fact, with waders on.
I was over to Southold last night to the candlelight tour at the museum when they light the Christmas tree and Santa Claus was there. We run a couple engines, you know. I've been going there 20 years, and last night, by far, was absolutely the coldest we've ever been there. It was brutal.
Where is this? Out in the middle of the field?
Southold at the museum over there. I got out of the truck and I set half a plastic cup full of Coke with a straw in it. I set it on the
Frozen on your lap?
I set it on the rafter in the barn. I went back about 15, 20 minutes later. The bitch was frozen solid.
The wind was blowing pretty good too, no?
A big Coke ice cube.
It was cold, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was cold.
It's crazy.
I'm retiring these. I think I've had these for 15 years or so. Why am I retiring them? They're big Smiths. It's time to break down and buy a new pair of Carhartts. I gotta do it. Again, if you're outside, you gotta have the right gear. I've talked about this a million times, guys. You gotta have them. Do not get chintzy on the gear. This gear is still worthy, but it's got a cracked thing. This heavy duty buckle thing is cracked.
Got a wire tie on it, man.
I have to use a wire tie now. It's also got a little tear in the back all the way. It's got a couple of tears in the legs, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. And the elasticity of this strap is like an old man's underwear. Now I could sew into it, go through all that bullshit, and you know what? That ain't gonna cut it. I'm gonna break down. I've already looked into it a little bit. It's like $125, new Carhartts, but I got to get the right size. You got to get the right size. Get them a little shorter. Don't get them longer.
Right.
Do not sacrifice the longer because they got the right waistness. Get just a little bit. If you take a 32 pants leg, get a 30 in these. I'm telling you, it's the smart thing to do. Okay.
Well, you know what happens is when it's wet, the cuffs drag, and then they soak up the water into the bottom.
Exactly. And or if they're just dragging anything in the ground, you just get them up off the ground. That's what your boots are for. Your boots are to take care of the gook. All right, not your pants. Let your pants, a little bit of a high water look is good when it comes to these, all right?
You need to go to work and gear.
Working gear, they're in Patchogue or someplace.
Patchogue in that mall on the right-hand side of the Sunrise. And they have all the sizes usually.
So I'm going to get a new pair of these, whatever. Now, when you get a new ones, they get all stiff and nasty. A little trick for you guys, throw them in the washing machine on extra heavy duty and use fabric softener. Don't use any detergent, just straight fabric softener. Do it 2 times, maybe 3 if you know, and then put them in the dryer, and they will be a lot softer than walking around like whatever in the beginning.
I just never wash.
You just never wash them?
Yeah.
Oh, I wash them in the beginning, that's probably about it.
Yeah, I don't wash them at all.
Sometimes, you get the dusty, I've been on construction where it's dusty and construction and all of that. So I'm going to cut that one up and make it a little bed for the cat, and it's going to go in that basket. For the cat.
I'm going to make a little roof for it.
And I got a little thing, little basket for him. I found this, all the stuff was found stuff, gone. So the cat's gonna be taken care of there. We're gonna make some cages, kind of doing a little cleanup. Again, if you got any ideas on these damn buckets, guys, please.
Hey Fred, did you finish the valve seats on that flathead you were working on?
Actually, we scrapped that motor and we went with a different motor. We went with I didn't like the initial. The block had cracks in between the head bolt holes on the face of the block, and I rejected. I wouldn't do it. I'm putting too much into the motor. I have to have a perfect block.
You need a what? Perfect what?
Perfect block.
Perfect block with no cracks around the head bolt studs.
Bad block.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take it. I mean, you can put Indian head brown sealer on the bolts, and you can put it together and not torque those center head bolts as tight as the rest of the head bolts, and you can get away with it. It'll run forever. But we're putting too much into this guy's motor, and my reputation is at stake here, and I'm not going unless it's 100%. I'm not going to do it, you know. And I told the guy that, so I got him another block. So now we're working on another motor.
My reputation is at stake.
Well, it is kind of.
Hey Bart, can you review what the oyster season is? Someone was asking.
All the months with ours.
No, that's all bullshit.
That's when
no,
you eat them.
That's what it used to be. They are premium right now, though. Let me tell you what, they are premium.
Colder the water, the better.
Yeah, that's pretty true. But nowadays, you can eat oysters year-round, no problem. And it takes the hardy oyster guy to be able to be out there in this kind of weather to be harvesting stuff. Yes, it is done year-round now. There could be some situations of ice that could possibly maybe shut you down for a little bit, but goal is to go year-round. You got to keep a cash flow going year-round, and you get a good price when the weather's nasty and the product is really good and the weather is nasty. You're going to get a premium price because not a lot of other guys are necessarily out there as well. Although we're going to have premium price all the time because our stuff is going to be premium product. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Conic got ice on it yesterday.
There's skim ice on our pond, on Air Creek too, in there a little bit.
Conic had a lot of ice on it yesterday.
So, you know, you do have to deal with that situation of ice that is getting into that time, and global warming or climate change or
we like ice.
Ice
boat.
Ice boat.
Yes!
Look at that, like ice boat.
Hey Bart, would you want to show them?
Does that answer the question?
Would you want to show them the runts you have and why you pull them or not? Not really?
Not really. It's not, you know, it's going to be a second wintered over oyster. It's time to get rid of them. It's almost like sacrificing them, you know. It is what it is. It's not like, you know, it's not worthy necessarily of explaining that. We were working on logo. Logo is one thing that we're working on. We got a little conference going. I've been saving up all these bags. Different bags that guys are using for various different stuff. It's these mesh type bags, onion bags. This happens to be a turnip bag, and here's a blue mussel bag, they're like 5 pound, you know, and they come in various different sizes. This is kind of a smaller one. This one's kind of a cute one. I don't know how many, but what the hell was in this? Yams were in this. This came from Price Club. It's got plastic on the top. It's a pretty nice bag. I'm not fond of the logo. I'm not fond of, you know, it looks more like it should have flowers in it or beauty supplies than yams. But I've been really eyeing this stuff up. Again, marketing. It's all about marketing. How you present your product. You taste your product with your eyes first. It has a lot to be said about how you market your product and where it's and the price that you can get for it. I'm looking into boxes. I think boxes could be the way to go. Again, ice is a big one. This was what makes it possible to be able to eat oysters year-round, is being able to keep your product on ice and keeping it safe.
Boxes are really expensive.
Boxes are expensive, but boy, do they make a statement. And boy, the premium, the good guy, the high money guys are using boxes. We're gonna probably use a box. Right off the bat, try to use a box. I don't know. We'll find out. You're here for the ride. We'll keep you posted on that.
What's left on the boat?
What's left on the boat? The boat.
It needs to be in the water.
I gotta get some paint on the bottom there a little bit. I gotta get paint from the rub rail down. I got probably a couple. Oh, I gotta get another battery. We were hooking another battery in there. We're gonna put in 2 batteries. We decided on that. I gotta go over and that's probably part of our meeting here today after we get off the air with you guys.
You may be this week may be the last time for paint.
Yeah, we got 50
Supposed
degrees
to be
coming
warm
up.
this week, you know.
50 degrees coming up.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain like hell tonight, but then it's supposed to be, and Monday a little bit, but then it's supposed to be fairly warm this week.
So, like, if I'm gonna do any more deck paint, I gotta buy a new deck. I gotta buy some more deck paint, but I'm all right. I got bottom paint, I'm okay. And that's where we're at. We were talking about gear, we were talking about rope, we're talking about tackle a little bit last week. We gotta continue on with that. He might have some updates for me on that. We need, I don't know. We're definitely gonna be in good shape here. We're in good shape. We gotta start thinking about getting seed. We gotta think about the boat, where it's gonna go. We kind of got an idea where it's gonna go, but we're right. I think we're on target all the way around. I'm really happy with where we're at. And you know what? By the time, you know what's coming up is another round of Suffolk County. Another round of Suffolk County lottery. Get ready for that.
Really?
Again. Yep.
It's twice
Following year. No, once a year. Once a year, you got to put your application in now. In December, they'll have their first meeting for Suffolk County, and then you go through blah 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 blah, and then the drawing is in August or whatever it is when we saw it. You have an interview.
So the bottom line is they've dicked us around for a year.
No, well, our guy, if we would have gone through the county, we would be just in the starting phases of where we were. Mm-hmm. We're a year ahead of schedule.
Well, because we went a different route.
That's correct. But even with the route that, you know, it was supposed to be, we're still a year ahead of what I thought, what if we would have played with the county. So it's all good. I'm all right. Keep right on moving along. What else do I got for you? I got nothing else for you. Tony Joe, you got anything? We were on for a half an hour, weren't we? I can't see. What does it say on that? Oh my goodness, 37 minutes. Beautiful thing. Frederick, you got anything else you want to add? Happy Oyster?
Not positive.
Not positive. Okay, good. Then keep your comments to yourself. He's learning at least a little bit. He's learning. That's a good thing.
Let me just throw here. Any questions from the crew?
Tony.
Pooping in the bucket.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google. I just made a note here. I'm gonna Google festival toilets.
Festival toilet. Why? Somebody said something about festival toilets?
Well, yeah, that's what they're talking about. And Artie Mike says, take 2 plastic covers from the cat dung box, cut it down.
What happened there?
You done?
Yeah, I'm about to. Why did it do that to you? I'm on my side. I'm good. You're not. This computer is hurting a little bit. Oh, you see? It's going. Kinda. This thing is hurting. Uh-oh. What'd you do, Tony Joe? All right. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I have one thing.
What's that? You got one thing?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Tomorrow's the last Formula One race of the 2018 season.
There it goes. All right. Tomorrow is the last Formula One race of the what? 2018
season in Abu Dhabi, and my team won both championships, which is Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton. So for what it's worth, I know there used to be some viewers that were into Formula One, but whatever.
My hair's getting a little too crazy. I'm just so sick about that. All right, guys. I thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next weekend. Obviously, 10 a.m. New York time is what time we stop on each and every Saturday. We appreciate you guys coming on because we wouldn't have half as much fun if it wasn't for you guys. Sharing you the life and times of semi-retired and having fun and enjoying midlife crisis and all that good shit. Come over to our Instagram, come over to our YouTube channel, subscribe. Instagram and YouTube, it seems like that's where it's going to be. We do have a Twitter. Come on over. Have some fun. Enjoy yourselves. Adios. See ya. You good, Tone?